Ever since Mazda killed the RX-8 in 2011 as a 2012 model year, we haven't seen a rotary engine on the market. We know Mazda's been working on it behind closed doors, trying to implement hydrogen, implementing direct injection and other technologies. We're expecting to see it maybe here in 2022 as a range extender for the 100-mile range MX-30 electric car. But new trademarks coming out of Europe and Japan are suggesting the rotary could be alive and well for another sports car. Over at Auto Revolution, Mazda patents reveal rear-wheel drive car with rotary engine and hybrid tech. They're sourcing these patents from a super Mazda fan and blog, and it's all translated from Japanese, but what we're seeing here is really compelling stuff. I'll cycle through the images while I'll tell you what's going on with them. We're seeing a new rotary engined coupe, obviously, that looks like there is a 48-volt mild hybrid as well as a transaxle gearbox. And seeing that the rotary is a triple rotor, it's the first time we've seen it since the discontinuation of the Mazda Unos Cosmo or the JC series Cosmo, which happened in 1996. It was introduced in 1990 as a first ever twin turbo rotary engine. And then of course the R13 twin turbo that we see in the RX-7 came out a little bit later in 1992. But in terms of production, the R20 is the king of all rotary engines, still having the crown as the most powerful. So what I did, as I had a lot of fun, is I came up with a spreadsheet talking about what we've seen in the past, at least in the recent history with the rotary engines, how Mazda could implement its technologies, and what kind of power we could see from a hybrid 2-liter 3-rotor engine. So in 1999, we had the fullest fruition of the 1.3 twin turbo 2-rotor engine with 280 horsepower, 217 pound-feet of torque, which came out after the Unos Cosmo, the JC, with the 2-liter twin turbo, 300 horsepower, nearly 300 pound-feet of torque. Now, when the RX-8 came out, it was naturally aspirated, and by 2012, they've upped the horsepower just a little bit, so that Renesis 1.3 liter had 232 horsepower, but a very anemic torque band at just 159 pound-feet of torque compared to the twin turbocharged brothers it had from decades past. Now, if Mazda wants to bake in direct injection, Skyactiv X technology as well to some degree, they could be able to push a 2-liter 3-rotor Skyactiv rotary engine to over 350 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque. Those are, of course, just my numbers, me just taking a stab based off what we've seen with their inline 4 motors, 4 Skyactiv engines. With a 48-volt mild hybrid setup, I don't know how powerful of an electric motor they can actually put in here, but it looks like that's going to be the minimum going forward, at least with their inline 6s, especially in Europe as Euro 7 emissions are coming down fast. 50 horsepower maybe from this electric motor, 150 pound-feet torque. Again, just complete guesses. We could be seeing over 400 horsepower from a rotary engine coupe from Mazda, and who knows if it'll ever come to market. Of course, all of us want to see it come to market. We want to see the nostalgia of the rotary come alive with the last engine technology before internal combustion dies. I mean, this is really Mazda's last chance to do it. Using it as a range extender is a great idea, but that's to supplement electrification. Of course, the rotary engine would be the star of the show with supplementation of electrification. Maybe you'd be able to come out in a few years' time to battle the Nissan Z, to battle the Supra, and whatever Toyota does with their GT3 racing concept that they teased for the Tokyo Auto Salon. I pointed out in my video Toyota GT3 car that it looked awfully similar, at least on the profile side of the RX Vision concept, and it's been hypothesized that Mazda and Toyota could be working together for the next platform, or should I say maybe the last platform of their internal combustion engine sports cars. GT3 cars are anywhere from 500 to 600 horsepower. So I just put some ridiculous numbers over here, just taking a stab at it. But man, if we had the Z, the Supra, and the Mazda RX duking it out here in the decade of the 2020s, inline 6s, twin turbo V6s, and triple rotary engines, I mean, it sounds too good to be true. Can Mazda bring the rotary engine back? It's hard to say, but one of the things that is most discouraging as we go back to Auto Revolution is that they're saying that the transmission is a transaxle. And if that's the case, it's unfortunate because shifting your own gears is important for an enthusiast. There's no doubt transaxles can be very, very fast. I mean, if we look at the RAV4 Prime, for example, that's a transaxle, and the Toyota transaxles anyways are extremely quick. There's no downshifting needed. You have instant power essentially. And man, those rotary engines can spin quick. So it would be ridiculously fast, but I would rather have a 6-speed manual, any sports car, but especially a rotary engine. Now I got to remind you guys, Mazda is coming out with a rear-wheel drive platform by the end of the year, unless it gets delayed with all the supply chain disruptions, etc. And we know that they're working on inline sixes, but if we're going to have an RX vehicle, R stands for rotary, it's got to be a new rotary, and there are plenty of patents coming out that are suggesting that Mazda has one coming. And maybe Toyota could use the inline six for their 3000 GT, whatever, super successor to the 2000 GT of old. I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, and I think there's a better chance of Mazda bringing us an inline six coupe sports car over a rotary, especially a 3-rotor rotary. Would I prefer a rotary? Yes, because that's Mazda, at least a part of Mazda's identity. But we haven't seen any proof of the 3-rotor other through patents, but we actually know for sure inline sixes 100% are coming to Mazda in the next year or two. And all those inline sixes are going to be a mild hybrid 48 volt. But I'm sure you guys can put on your tinfoil hats and speculate even better than I was able to in this video, as well as you guys are smarter than me. So sift through those patent images if that's something that interests you and let us know what you can find out. But anyways, guys, I'll check you out in the next video. As always, peace out.